Welcome to today's Explainer. If you're building a career in academia and, looking to gain some really meaningful teaching experience at a recognized government institution, well, a massive opportunity has just opened up in Bihar that absolutely warrants a closer look. Today, we're breaking down the recent recruitment notification from MIT Muzaffarpur. They're hiring guest assistant professors for the upcoming 2026 academic term. Now, navigating higher education recruitment can honestly feel like wading through endless bureaucratic paperwork, right? But understanding the specific requirements, the compensation structures, and those strict timelines, that's going to give you a huge advantage. We're going to examine exactly what this role entails, what the specific eligibility criteria look like, and how you can position yourself as a total standout candidate. Okay, let's dive into this. The Muzaffarpur Institute of Technology, widely known as MIT Muzaffarpur, is literally one of the oldest and most prominent engineering colleges in all of Bihar. Getting your foot in the door as an assistant professor in a state-run institution carries a serious amount of weight in the academic world. Guest faculty roles, especially, are phenomenal stepping stones. They allow postgraduates in engineering and core sciences to build a really robust teaching portfolio, get first-hand experience with state curricula, and network within the government education sector. So if you've been aiming to transition from, say, a student or a researcher right into a front-of-the-room educator, understanding the mechanics of this specific hiring drive is a highly practical place to start. First things first, is your specialty actually in demand for this cycle? Right now, MIT Muzaffarpur is actively hiring across 4 specific departments. We're looking at information technology, electronics and communication engineering, chemical engineering, and finally, chemistry. This lineup really reflects a broader, ongoing push within state engineering colleges to bulk up their technical and applied science faculties. With regional industries relying more and more on tech infrastructure and chemical manufacturing, there's a clear mandate to produce graduates who are fundamentally strong in these core disciplines. If your academic background aligns with any of these 4 areas, you are directly in the running. And the next critical step is just verifying your specific academic qualifications. And this brilliantly illustrates how the qualifications actually differ depending on your chosen field. It's super important to understand the regulatory bodies that govern them. For the engineering departments, which covers IT, electronics and communication, and chemical engineering, your academic background has to align with the norms set by the All India Council for Technical Education, or AICTE, as well as the state's Department of Science, Technology, and Technical Education, the DSTTE. Practically speaking, this generally means you need a BE or BTech along with your ME or MTech in the relevant branch. However, if you're applying for the chemistry department, you're dealing with pure sciences. That means you fall under a completely different regulatory framework, the University Grants Commission or UGC guidelines. So I highly recommend cross-checking your specific degrees and any required national eligibility tests against these official governing frameworks, just to make sure your application is absolutely rock solid. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the Bihar DSTT has structured the compensation. It's actually quite competitive for guest faculty. You're looking at an honorarium of 1,500 rupees per lecture. This model of pay is pretty standard for guest roles, and honestly, it's designed to reward your direct time and effort right there in the classroom. Instead of a fixed salaried model that might drag you into endless administrative duties, a per-lecture honorarium means you're being compensated directly for the actual teaching hours and the academic value you deliver to the students. It offers a fantastic level of flexibility, which a lot of academics really appreciate, especially if you're simultaneously juggling personal research or maybe your own PhD work.
So the crucial point is understanding the ceiling on this earning potential. While you are paid on a per-lecture basis, the role is capped at a maximum monthly salary of 50,000 rupees. Doing the math, at 1,500 rupees per lecture, hitting that 50,000 ceiling basically means you'd be delivering around 33 lectures a month. That breaks down to roughly, 1 or 2 classes a day, depending on the schedule. And this is a very intentional structure. It rewards active classroom engagement while providing a really dependable income stream, but it also ensures the workload stays completely manageable. You're not going to be scheduled for 60 classes a month. The cap inherently protects your time, leaving you plenty of bandwidth to grade papers, prep high-quality lectures, and of course, continue your own academic development.
Let's move to and see how this builds your exact action plan, because timing is literally everything here. There are 2 non-negotiable dates you need to lock into your calendar right now. This process moves fast. First is August 16, 2026. This is your email application deadline, allowing you to proactively submit your details and intent in advance. Second, and most importantly, is August 17, 2026, at exactly 10 a.m. That is the strict reporting time for the walk-in interview taking place right there at the MIT Muzaffarpur campus. Listen, for a walk-in scenario, punctuality is your absolute first impression. Arriving early doesn't just show professionalism, it gives you time to settle your nerves and organize your paperwork before the crowds arrive. When you do show up on August 17th, preparation is everything. I'd highly recommend taking a mental screenshot of this visual checklist. Government recruitment processes are notoriously strict about paperwork, and missing a single document can derail your entire interview before it even begins. So you must have all your original academic certificates in hand for verification, plus 2 complete organized sets of photocopies to leave with the administration. You're also going to need 2 passport-size photos, your residential certificate, and, if it applies to your specific situation, your category certificate. Please do not leave this to the morning of the interview. Get your folder perfectly organized days in advance so you can completely avoid any unnecessary bureaucratic headaches on the ground. Which brings us to the ultimate question. Are you ready for the MIT Muzaffarpur walk-in interview? You know the exact dates. You understand the regulatory qualifications for both engineering and chemistry, and you've got your comprehensive document checklist ready to go. Now it's time to take action. Get those documents prepared immediately so you can walk in with total confidence. Taking on a role like this at such a historic institution isn't just a resume builder, guys. It's a genuine chance to shape the next generation of engineers and innovators in Bihar. As state institutions continue to upgrade their talent pools and invest heavily in their technical faculties, the question really is, will you be part of that academic transformation? Share this explainer with any eligible peers who might be interested. Thanks so much for joining me, and best of luck on your interview.